Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Pregame show for a game that's not going to start for another hour and a half. But you know what? It's scheduled to start at 8 o'clock, so here we are. I can speak words. Blais and Rudo coming at you live pregame before Avs Boston. Look, it's been a minute since the Avs have played a decent hockey team, yeah?
Yeah, this is a decent hockey team that's coming in here. A little banged up, but still a decent hockey team.
Yeah, they're managing. They did lose to the Ducks the other night, so it's not exactly smooth sailing for them right now, but they're not the Coyotes. They're not Chicago. They're bona fide, so gonna be interesting from that regard. On the Avs side, Kemper back in net. Was there any thought, Blais, to giving Frankie the go with another shutout?
Yeah, I was thinking about that one today. It's kind of an interesting thing, right? You've got two goaltenders that are playing very well. The last thing that you want to do is put any kind of doubt into both of those goaltenders, right? Like, so basically, you've got to just kind of stick to the schedule, which is you've got your starter, which is Kemper's your starter. So that rotation just needs to stay the same until something happens, right? So if Kemper starts going on a bad game streak, then maybe you hand it over and give Frank Kuz the keys for a little bit, see if he can drive the Porsche around the block without crashing it. So
it's a Porsche, huh?
I mean, it's something quick.
That's given the guys that play in front of them, it's got to be able to move pretty fast. I guess that's a fair point. Look, the Avs are set up to go for. Would this be 17 straight at home, or is it 16? I forget which.
I think it's 17, right? That's the record. I think 16 was last game.
Yeah, I think it's 17.
Yeah.
And then like the NHL record is like 23
I'm sure Chad
or
can
something.
tell us.
Yeah, Chad will be like, actually, you guys are wrong about everything.
You guys are both idiots.
Yeah. That's why we keep you around, Chad. But still, it's a pretty impressive thing for it's the Avs to even be in the realm of. Doesn't matter at all. If they lose tonight, does it hurt a little bit more, or is it whatever?
I don't think you can say that it hurts. I mean, after this run that they've gone on, like they've got to lose at some point, right? They're not just going to win out the rest of the year. This is a good team that you're playing against, so if they came in and won, you'd be like, oh, that happens every now and then because there are good players and good teams in the NHL. This isn't, the Coyotes coming in and giving you a run for your money.
Yep, Look, it depends on how the bread gets made, right? If the Avs completely shit their pants the whole game, not going to be very happy with it, obviously. But if you get beat by a good team, you get beat by a good team. So with that being said, they're running their backup over on Boston's side tonight.
Yep.
So you would like to see the Avs get on the board fairly regularly.
Are you calling Tuukka their number one?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, that's the weird part, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's come back. Hasn't found his game yet.
Yeah.
He's still a little rusty. I mean, I don't think that's going to last.
For sure.
Give him a few more games, and I think it's going to be the Tuukka that you've seen before. And that's a scary proposition, I think, for people in the East.
Yeah. I mean, Boston right now sitting in fourth in their division. I believe they have some games in hand, though, and first of all, their division's a nightmare. They're fourth in their division with 50 points, and they could push for the top end spots of another really good team in that division. So
yeah, again, it's no one's boat raced each other. Over there, so
trying to squeak them out a little bit.
Yeah.
So should be interesting on their side for both teams. Look, they're both known. The Avs have the three-headed monster. Boston has the perfection line, but really, you're starting to look at more of these teams as a top six.
Yes.
Obviously, the Avs side with Nazem Kadri doing ridiculous things on their second line. But Boston has also been running Pasternak on their second line alongside Taylor Hall.
Yes.
So who has the edge in the top six for you, Blais? Is it the Avs or is Boston right there?
I think they're right there. I think it's, you would almost call it a draw when you're starting to look at just the talent that is across that top six. And then especially when you look down the center, right? Like in the center position, like you've got some talent down the center of both these teams, right?
Yep.
So the one thing that the Avs have is they have two aces up their sleeve in their defensive core with two guys that are just producing points left and right, finding ways to, make impacts on games.
Yeah, it's a great point, right? Because look, Boston's defense isn't a pushover, all respect to McAvoy and all that, but they don't have a Cale Makar. They don't even have a Devon Taves over there.
Is there any other team that you would take their defensive core over the Avs right now?
I don't think so. I'm not even sure if any come that close, even, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There are singular defensemen.
Sure,
you'd say
but as a unit, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that you're going, oh, I wish we had this defensive core.
I don't know how you build a better pairing than Taves and Makar with anyone's defense in the league.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I don't think anyone comes that close. Again, you can say, well, you have a pairing with Hedman, but Hedman and who?
Yeah, exactly. Who's the other guy?
Yeah. So it's just really hard to live up to two defensemen of that high of a caliber of player. And yeah, it's definitely one of the aces in the hole for the Avs. When you look at the rest of the lineup, McKinnon is who he is, and on the Boston side they have Bergeron, definitely not anywhere similar to the same style of player as McKinnon. So how do the Avs win the best on best battle? Is it the offense has to be better? Because we know Bergeron's going to give you a full two-way game every night.
Yeah. I mean, right now what you're kind of seeing is like you're hoping that, how do I put this? Like, you're hoping that the Giants that are on the Avalanche, that first line, you kind of wake up and you start playing the game a little bit. Because the last few games, let's be honest, they're still putting points up, but they're not doing what you expect them to do from just that standpoint of dominating. If they come out and do what they've been doing lately, it's not going to be good for the Avalanche. Like, everyone's got to be on their game for tonight's matchup, or else it's it could go south pretty quickly.
For sure. I think AJ has talked about Mikko Rantanen's laziness. You're going to need to see less of that tonight for sure. But you even go down into the depth of this. If you're Naz, Nichushkin, Berkey, you're facing down Taylor Hall and David Pastrnak tonight.
Yeah.
You better keep it clean, because those are some guys that can absolutely punish you.
Absolutely.
So,
do you feel it's going to be like a shootout style, or do you think it's going to be a more reserved game, like more of a chess match, waiting for somebody to screw up?
My mind says it's going to be slow and steady. My betting sheet says they better score a lot. So we'll see. We'll see when we get to the bets on that one, maybe. But I actually think the Avs are due for a bit of a more high-scoring game.
Yeah,
They've kind of had a bunch that have just meandered through and gotten the win on. So we'll see. We'll see if it ends up being a shootout. I really don't have any idea what's going to happen. Anything's on the table. Either team could blow them out. It could be a super close game, and I wouldn't be surprised by pretty much anything tonight. So,
I mean, and that's what the Avs have done this year. I mean, obviously they've found ways to win those games different ways, but like, you just don't know what you're going to get night from night. Like, there was a chunk there where it was like, yeah, we're not going to score less than 7 goals each night. And then this new stretch is we're just going to win by 1 or 2 goals. Maybe we're going to come back. Maybe it's going to be an OT, but we're going to find ways to win. So,
yeah, that actually a good point. Boston is not a team I would want to see the Avs have to come back on. I think this is obviously they're a very experienced veteran team. They know how to close games out.
Yeah.
It's not going to be quite as easy for the Avs to go, we're down 2, it's fine. We'll just score 3 in the third, no problem. That, not something I want to see tonight, because I think that puts the Avs in a bad spot. But I am curious, can the Avs get under Brad Marchand's skin tonight? Can they get him riled up a little bit?
Well, for sure. I mean, we've seen in the past, like, that's
Doesn't
something
take
that
a whole
happens,
lot,
right?
yeah.
Like, McKinnon and him are good friends. Well, not good friends, but they are definitely friends. They train in the off season. Yep. You've seen all the videos of them together. Marchand right now is a little banged up, so you could get under his skin just by kind of, ruffling his feathers a little bit.
Spots, huh?
Yeah. I mean, this is, everyone's going to hate this, but I personally love Brad Marchand. I think he's an awesome player.
Take.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the licking. There, he definitely plays that fine line, and that happened a long time ago. But I think all around, he's just one of those players. He's got that grit. He's got a very high skill level as well. That grit, though, and that playing on the edge has cost him a lot of money. Now, he's made a lot of money in his life
he's doing
from
okay.
hockey, but he's missed out on a lot of things just because you look at like his skill level, the way that he plays, what he's done for Boston, and he should have, probably some more things going on outside of hockey that he's not getting just because of the reputation that he holds.
Look, I mean, it's hard to fault him when it comes to being a teammate, right? If he's the dude on your team,
absolutely.
you've got his back at every turn.
You love that guy.
Yeah.
He's a great locker room guy as well.
But he's the last dude in the league you want to play against.
Yeah.
So
those are the guys that you want to, you hate playing against them, but when they're on your team, you're like, this is awesome.
yeah, he does all the hard work for you. Leaves you to be Pasternak and score all the goals. It's fun. Well, Marchand scores plenty by himself too, which is kind of why he's a problem for other teams because he's also good at hockey.
Yep.
Besides being a dork. But that brings us to the special teams battle tonight. Boston on both ends of special teams is in the top 10 in the league. Very, very quality, particularly on the power play. The Avs, we've seen them improve significantly with their special teams over the last handful of games. And part of that is the rotation of players on the penalty kill. They're pretty much just playing everybody.
Yeah. It's unique, isn't it? It's a little different than what you've seen in the past where you never put a top 6 player out there on the penalty kill. Now it's, they're picking and choosing up and down the lineup.
I mean, there was a penalty. They had Kadri with Makar and like Gerard on the back end or something. And you're like, this is a penalty kill?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the Avs have been running pretty much everyone on it. What does that help kind of keep everyone in the game a little bit, or do you think that takes away from some of the depth guys for the Avs?
Oh, well, because your top end players are getting more minutes, right? So you're not touching the ice. You're not as engaged in the game. Obviously, this is their profession. That you want them to be professionals while they're out there and understand their roles. But there is something to be said when you're not touching the ice a lot. Sometimes you just lose that interest in the game. And again, this is somebody's job. It's their job, right?
It's hard though, right? You sit on the bench for 17 minutes and then you're expected to go over the boards and go all out for a shift. I don't envy that for sure. I'll put it that way. So,
well, because a lot of that is feeling out your game. Right? And if you're not being able to feel out the game until the third period.
Hard to find any rhythm when you've played a minute and 45 seconds. So that's what I'm saying. It's interesting that the Avs have gone this way. I don't necessarily disagree with the decision. Look, your best players are your best players for a reason. They can be your best players on the defensive end too. On the power play side, second unit continues to be effective.
Yeah, might as well switch them to be the first unit.
PP2, new PP1 confirmed. Their favorite play is one that we both hate, which is Sam Girard on the half wall and then making a 1-foot pass to the bumper player. But as long as Alex Newhook is sniping pucks, does it matter?
No. A goal's a goal, right? Like last game we were laughing about it because the bumper pass is seriously a stick length away. It does not change the angle of the shot. Yeah. But somehow it's still going through. Elite sniper skills, obviously.
Definitely.
I don't hate that play. I just hate the way that the Avs run it because they're just so close together. If you go and watch other teams do that play, because that is that's not something that's unique to the Avs. Everyone has that bumper pass. You'll see a guy that's a little bit further down into the zone and is further than 3 feet away from the other person as they're making that pass, which it creates problems because all you're trying to do on the penalty kill or the power play, is to create 2-on-1s, right? So if there's two guys standing next to each other, that 2-on-1 basically disappears. I keep saying all this stuff, but they keep scoring on it. So
I don't. Eventually, if it keeps working, you run into the if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. But
I'm sitting on a couch there. There's coaches being paid,
true
players playing, and they're scoring goals.
Yeah.
So
we just sit here and talk about the game. They're the ones actually out there doing it. So hard to fault it. That's for sure. Power play 1. What do you want to see out of it tonight? We've already kind of talked about wanting to see that first line up their tempo.
Yeah.
But it really does feel like they get caught trying to play on the perimeter too much on that power play. So who is it that has to step up and start penetrating for them?
I mean, I think it starts with Mac, right? Like, he's the guy that you want to go skate into the slot and try to make something happen. Right now, obviously, when you have a team that's so talented, it's so easy to defer and pass to a teammate looking for that perfect play. But if it's not working, you need to revert back to basically get the puck into high danger areas and then crash the net, right? Like, make it simple. Like, do what you did with the penalty kill and take it to the power play.
There you go.
Right? Just simplify it.
Yep.
Once it's working again, then you start adding on, you put sprinkles on it. You put whipped cream on it. All that stuff after you get it working.
So you want vanilla ice cream tonight.
You want vanilla ice cream that tastes good.
There you go. Start with good, then make it better.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it, for sure. Okay. We're gonna move along here because we do have to set up our watch along, which, given how long is left in the other game, maybe we'll watch the end of the Chicago game with you guys too while we wait.
This is the After Dark pregame show.
Yeah, it's already after dark, and the game's gonna end past midnight. It's gonna be a night, chat. It's gonna be a night. All right, Blais, let's hit your bets here.
All right, can we move it here? All right, I'm going with some usuals that you've seen before.
The ones that are totally free. Cool.
I mean, why change it if it's working, right? Like so Taves with a half an assist at plus 100. For some reason, they're not changing this line, and I'm here for it. So I'm going to take that all day. Again, last game, they found a way to get an assist. It was a secondary assist, but it's still an assist.
Both your other assist bet in Makar also found one.
Yep.
And somehow he's better odds than he was the other night.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they keep changing around. So we'll take it. And then the other one, I was, again, finding value in these bets right now.
Got to get a little adventurous.
Every time you go, every day now that the Avs win and there's multiple people scoring all the time, those odds are just dropping off a cliff. So you got to really find stuff. You got to snoop around a little bit. So I found this Avs at basically a point
to win the first.
The first. Yep. Plus 145.
That's good. It's good odds, but does the goal come in the first 10 minutes or not, Blais? That's the big question.
I mean, that one's a little bit different because it's either team, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I was just trying to find something that had a little bit more pizzazz in the first period for it.
I was looking today. First of all, DraftKings has 2 boosts going on.
Yes.
They have a same game parlay boost for plus 20%, which was also for basketball tonight. I don't know if you can get it on that one anymore. But if you can, go get that. Yep. Same game parlay, do whatever you want. They also have Mikko to score 2 points at plus 210. Mikko finds a way to score 2 points a little bit too often for me to pass up on that one. So I like that one. But interestingly, when I was looking earlier today, and they always flip these around, so it might be gone, but they had Alex Newhook power play point at plus 500.
Really?
And I was like, he might be on the second unit, but at that price, like I gotta bite in on that a little bit. So.
I like both of those bets. I took a parlay as well, but I didn't put it up here because then it gets messy.
We'll have 18 different segments on the betting line.
Yeah, and I tend to kind of be safe with my parlays. Try to make sure it's not like, check it out, it's plus 1,800. They've got to score 9 goals.
There are only 2 speeds with parlays. It's unbelievably safe or absolute insanity. Like, there's never a decent risk factor.
I mean, if you're on Twitter, though, watching some of these people that show their bets, and you're like, this dude bet $10. Did you see the guy that bet on every major championship and was basically the last one he was waiting on was this year's NFL championship? He had Green Bay. So he had bet, I think it was $25 to win $330,000. And his buyout at this time was $140,000, $130,000.
Should have took it.
Hopefully he took it. I haven't seen what happened to that guy. I would love to know if he decided to take that free money or...
Dude, I'm soft. I'd have taken that buyout at 10,000. I'd have been out.
Yeah. That's balls of steel, I guess. I don't know.
I hope he got his money. That's all at that point. I hope he got a decent chunk of change. But anyway, Avs, Boston should be on your TVs in the next hour or so.
Oh man,
it's on TNT, the national one. So at least you have that going for you if that's your thing. We're gonna finish this thing up. We are gonna go do a watch along, or at least I am, for the Avs game. Allegedly, we'll probably go live and just watch the end of the Chicago-Detroit game as we wait. So if you guys want to join us, that'll be here on the YouTube channel, or if you're part of the DNVR Lounge, you can find the playback link. Go check that out. Yeah. Other than that, we appreciate all y'all hanging out pregame, and we will talk to you hopefully in just a couple of minutes here.